Hey everybody, welcome to the Batcave, a show here on Rebel Rock Radio, the Patreon and YouTube here in 2 weeks. Where we being your eternal host, Steve, and Blue, the not so eternal host, we talk about Batman and Batman related things.
Because Batman's cool.
Because Batman's sick as hell. And don't you forget it.
Yeah.
So how have you been? What have you been up to?
It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
Lost my job last week. As if you're watching this and you watch the regular Rebel Rock Radio show, you already know that. But yeah, got laid off of my job, so that kind of sucks. And other stuff happened last week that wasn't great either, but we move on.
We don't talk about some of that
We don't
stuff.
talk about that. We talk
Not
about
here.
Batman.
We talk
This
about
show, we
Batman.
talk about Batman. And Batman.
God damn it. And Batman related things because, yeah. Anyway.
So tell our listeners.
Oh, you're not going to ask me what I've been up to? I see how it is. Well, I work on my TTRPG has stalled a little bit just because of other stuff being prevalent. But this week I have been I've been hosting. So as you may know, my friend Stevie is a YouTuber, completely separate to you. He just happens to also be named Stevie. Um, his Discord server. We've been doing some like activities. We for Halloween we did like we watched scary stuff, movies and YouTube shorts or not YouTube shorts but YouTube series and then we did last night we played Jeopardy with like categories chosen by people in the server and this Saturday we're doing a mock trial because I allegedly murdered someone because that was the activity that we decided to do. I don't know how I ended up the murderer, but you know. But yeah, okay, calm down. It's all fake. Or is it? No. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of community stuff for my friend. Because why not? But yeah, as you were saying, we have a new segment.
Actually, before you jump into that, I completely forgot about something. Forgot about another segment we were going to do that we didn't come up with a title yet, but basically it's like This Week in Batman. Like any.
Oh yeah, this what have you done Batman this week?
Yeah. So Sunday, the season finale of The Penguin dropped.
Nice.
So season 1 of The Penguin is done. And for those of you out there that have not watched it, you really should.
Yeah.
It's only 8 episodes long. It's really not that long.
Yeah, that's I mean they're each like what, 40 minutes to an hour?
45 hour, yeah, something like that. And so yeah, the finale was without giving any spoilers. Damn, Oz.
What do you? Well, goddamn! What do you? Yeah. Well, now I gotta go watch it to find out what happened.
You gotta watch it. Yeah, you gotta watch the whole thing. It's really good. It's really good.
I guess. I guess I'll let you know. I don't really have one this week, to be honest.
And then on last night's episode, because we're recording this on Wednesday, on last night's episode of Rebel Rock Radio, we mentioned some news that Matt Reeves, who was the director of the 2022 Batman movie, and is also was very heavily involved in the Penguin TV show, did an interview, and he announced that he is going to do more spinoff stuff for HBO, and all of the spinoff stuff is going to be focused on villains.
Huh.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is cool. That is a cool concept.
Yeah.
I think my immediate thought is there weren't that many villains in the movie.
Right.
So is this going to be kind of like this is what's going on when we're not seeing Robert Pattinson fighting
Yes.
crime?
Yes.
Um, which could be interesting. I definitely will stay up to date with what that's all about.
And
But
if it's
I do, yeah.
yeah, if they're done as well as the Penguin was, they're going to be really good.
Well, that's good to know.
Now, as far as comic books this week, today, Wednesday, is actually uh, new comic book day. So I actually have not, are two comic books that came out that are Batman related.
Oh
I
yeah.
have not yet read either one of them yet, but I will sometime tonight. I do most of my comic book reading at night, but
That's fair.
so we have Batman and Robin number 15, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, and the artwork is done by Carmine D. Giandominci. Yeah, I'm sorry,
It's by
Carmine.
someone.
It's a guy. It's his last name is, I won't say hard to pronounce. He's just hard to pronounce for me because I'm a moron. Anyway,
Damn.
I have been reading this run of Batman and Robin, and it is really it's good. I really like it. Philip Kennedy Johnson is doing a good job of it. So I'm looking forward to diving in and seeing what is going on with our duo.
Yeah.
The second comic book to come out today, I'm really excited to read, really looking forward to it. And that is Absolute Batman number 2.
Ooh, yes.
Written by Scott Snyder, artwork done by Nick
Oh,
Dragotta.
dude, that's Snyder. I didn't even realize that. I didn't know that was who's writing Absolute.
Yeah,
That's Court of Owls. That's New
yeah.
52.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
God damn.
yeah. So
Was
yeah,
not aware.
Absolute Batman is definitely something that if you folks out there have not caught it yet, you really
Go
should.
check it out. What are you doing?
Some of
Come on.
some of the variant covers uh, for this one are just amazing. Here, I'm actually going to share my screen with you.
No thanks. I've got my own screen.
And can you see that? Yeah. So this is a variant cover of
God
Batman.
damn.
Yeah, it is so good. And
Yeah.
that's I'm pretty sure that is Nick Dragati that does the covers. There are several variant covers, but that is the one that I wanted to show off because it's
Huh.
pretty freaking amazing. Let me look at the other ones. Yeah, those, I mean, they're all pretty good,
Yeah.
but
They can't all be winners.
that one is, no, I mean, they're all good, but that one is the one that really jumped out at me.
Huh.
But yeah, Absolute Batman number 2, totally ready to read that one. I'm so looking forward to it because the first one was so good. Have you read that one yet?
I've not. I've been meaning to, and I've just been. I'm slacking a little bit. I have such a big like backlog of stuff that I have to do that I've been like, yeah, I'll do this. Like I gotta watch like 4 movies, read a bunch of comic books. Somebody bought me the BioShock collection, which is a video game,
Yeah, yeah.
and I now I have to play BioShock because they just spent like $12 buying me all the games.
Yeah,
I don't want to play this shit.
I've been playing Arkham Knight, so
And we'll be talking about that sooner than you'd expect.
yeah. You want to tell them about that plan? We actually have a trilogy of
Yeah,
shows coming soon.
so in the coming weeks, or in the past few weeks, I'd say maybe a couple of months, I replayed all 3 Arkham games because I love the Arkham games. I don't think you will ever hear me say a bad thing about the Arkham series that is not constructive criticism.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because they're all
and they're fantastic. one of my favorite video game series, one of my favorite Batman iterations, even. I'd go so far to say.
Yeah, yeah. I would completely
But
agree with that because, like, the guy that did the artwork for Arkham Knight is just freaking amazing.
oh yeah, the graphics. Anyway, this is all stuff that we should talk about on the episodes. Which, what we're getting at is
Yeah,
after
yeah.
today or recently, I played the games, and Steve, is finishing the games. So the next 3 episodes are going to be Asylum, City, and Night.
Are those going to be our next ones, or are we doing anything before that?
I'd like to just hop right into it, mostly because I just like
Okay,
talking about Arkham.
I'm good
It
with that.
gives us a little bit of time before we have to think of a topic again.
I mean, we got
Not
plenty
that
of
it's
stuff to
hard.
talk about.
To be fair, not that it's hard to pick a topic, seeing as
Yeah,
we just kind of decide on the fly.
yeah.
But
It's all good.
yeah, the next 3 episodes
Yeah.
after this one is going to be Arkham, our Arkham trilogy.
So why don't you tell the folks about our next news segment?
Yes. So, um, from now on, we are going to maybe not every episode, but whenever we feel like it. I'd say whenever we feel like it. If he decides he wants to do it every time,
I'm good
that's
with every
fine by
episode. I'm good with every episode.
that's fine by me. We are going to be doing a new segment, which is going to be Batman character roulette. Um, we we have a uh, a book, an encyclopedia of Batman characters, and every episode we're going to pick one at random and talk about them for a little bit
Yes.
before the main topic. Um, just a little something to spice up the routine.
Spice up the routine. Exactly.
You
So,
know,
as I said, pick a number between 4 and 2003.
2003 or 203.
203. Sorry.
Good lord, I was about to say that's a too many Batman characters. I didn't even know there were that many Batman characters.
So go ahead.
Let's do 104.
104. Okay. 104. Oh, I think we've got a good one. Oh, all right. 104 is the League of Assassins.
Like the organization, or like a specific league of like a assassin's character.
The organization. So the little summary here: formed by the international terrorist Ra's al Ghul, the League of Assassins is an elite and clandestine organization based in the mystical city of, I can never pronounce this, F. Alf Iban.
I've never even heard of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen it before. I just can never pronounce it. The League is usually led by Raish, whose ultimate goal is to destroy a significant portion of the world's population in order to shape what is left into a world of his choosing.
Yeah. So, man, that's an interesting one for our first roulette.
Yeah.
Man, the League of Assassins. I mean, what to say? It's kind of it's very much the League of Assassins is a big name in Batman lore because I mean that's who he trained with. His original training was with the League. Um, and you know, Ra's al Ghul is such a he's
Important part of Batman's
I'll
lore.
say I would even say a necessary part of the Batman lore. Um, it's extremely hard to have Batman without Ra's al Ghul, and you can't really have Ra's al Ghul without the League of Assassins.
Right.
Which, I mean, I realize that may be an interesting statement, seeing as, it's Ra's al fucking Ghul.
And one step further than that, you don't have Damian Wayne without the League.
Without the League, exactly. So the League it's very important, even though it takes a backside or a supporting role to the villains a lot of the time. There's never a part where, like, John from the League of Assassins is up to some shit. It's always John from the League of Assassins is standing behind Ra's al Ghul while he monologues about the New World Order or some
Maybe
shit.
I should pitch that to Scott Snyder.
Do you know Scott Snyder, like, personally?
Well, I mean, I can find him on social media. He posts on Blue Sky, so
You gonna text him, say like, "Hey,
I'm gonna
John from the League of Assassins, hear me out.
Say, hey, I've got a great idea for a
We
new
got a top-notch idea. Have you watched Rebel Rock Radio?"
No, what you should do is we should collaborate on a new comic book series about John from the League of Assassins.
See, half of this duo we have here could absolutely collaborate with Scott Snyder, and one of us is the host of a podcast.
Eat me.
Hey man, I'm a writer. I could.
I write too.
You write articles.
I have written fiction before. In fact, if I'm remembering correctly, I think I wrote a Batman fan fiction a long time ago.
Yeah, you're writing fiction right now. That was a good one.
On that note,
Anyone else with it? Anyway, but yeah, the League of Assassins. It's yeah. I mean, it's you can't separate the League. Like, having a Batman without the League of Assassins is possible. I do believe you could do it, but it that just won't have the same spirit.
yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
What else can you say? I mean, the League of Assassins are.
It's the League of Assassins. I mean, imagine an army of Batmans, except they kill.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't see a lot of people talk about. I've always had this notion. I don't want to say notion that because that makes it sound like it's not true. But I think this is something that I've definitely said to you, is that the reason that Damian Wayne is the best Robin and the most suited to being the next Batman is because he grew up getting the same training as Batman. Like, it took Batman years to master these things, and Damian grew up doing these things. So it's like the League of Assassins is just such an inescapable part of Batman lore.
Yeah.
Like, they even, and this is something that I will definitely nitpick when we get to the Nolan trilogy, they even went so far as to have Bane be a part of the League of Shadows in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. It's a very important little piece of the puzzle. You can't have Batman without the League of Assassins. Not easily. And if you do, you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. Mostly. But yeah, that's a interesting way to start off this new segment.
I like it.
I like it. I don't have any issues with it.
I mean, we're there. There's some that are even going to be weirder than that.
Next week we're gonna get fucking Condiment King. God damn it.
No, next week we're going to get Bat Cow.
Hey man, we start talking about Bat Cow, that might end up being the episode.
Yeah, really.
He has so many interesting accomplishments, and I'm full of shit, you know.
All right.
Anyway, what are we talking about this week?
Year one.
Yeah.
Batman Year One. Just a few just kind of summary about it. Batman Year One was a comic book story arc. It was originally published in Batman number 404 through 407 in 1987. It was written by Frank Miller. It was illustrated by, and I'm going to butcher this dude's name, David Mazzucchelli. Oh, that wasn't that hard. Okay. David Mazzucchelli. And as the title suggests, it recounts
Takes place.
Batman's first year as a crime fighter.
Yeah.
But not only that, it also, because it's not just about Batman.
It's also about James Gordon.
James Gordon takes a very integral role in this story.
I wanted to say, I was not expecting so much James Gordon.
There was a lot of James Gordon, and that's one of the things I like about it. So this is my copy.
Yeah.
I would really, at some point in time, like to get a hardcover version. But yeah. So Frank Miller, this is one of the. You look at any Batman story arc, essential reading type things. Most of the time, you're going to see this on those lists.
If you've shook a stick at Batman, you've definitely heard of Year One. You've definitely heard of Frank Miller. It's one of those things,
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Spider-Man without Stan Lee.
Right.
Which, not to say Frank Miller is the Stan Lee of Batman.
He is.
I'm actually going to take that one back.
He's not the Stan Lee of Batman.
But he's an important, like Scott Snyder. You shake a stick at Batman, you gotta hit Scott Snyder. Right. You shake a stick again, Frank Miller's there too.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I am not.
Again, you're gonna get James Tynion.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually am not the biggest fan of Mr. Miller. I find some of his writing, it's just not for me. He writes in a very particular way. I don't enjoy his style, but I was pleasantly surprised by Year One.
I do get that. I like some of Frank.
Yeah, you like Frank Miller.
I will say one thing about Frank Miller. Frank Miller did a take on Superman that it was in 2019. Yeah, it was.
When was this? What?
Sorry, say that again.
What comic book was this? I don't remember.
It was called Superman Year One. There were 3 issues. It was horrible. I did not like it.
Huh.
In my personal opinion, Frank Miller has no business being anywhere near Superman.
Yeah.
That being said, he has done some really good work with Batman.
He's done work with Batman.
He's done some good work. Not just, he hasn't just done Year One. Now, I would mention, and I will mention, of course, he did another story arc that is another piece of what you might consider essential reading, referring to The Dark Knight Returns. Now, I will say, Dark Knight Returns, he did before he did Year One.
Yes.
I personally prefer Year One over The Dark Knight Returns.
I would have to agree.
But he has done some other Batman stuff that I thought was really good, but not as good as I think this is the best Batman story that he has done.
I I'd have to agree. Mostly be I accidentally pulled my earbuds out.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree mostly because again, I'm not on the Miller train. I'm not a huge fan. Like, and it's nothing against him. It's nothing against the stories. If you like them, go read them. If this episode piques your interest, go read Year One. Um, I'm just not a fan of his style. I'm not a fan of. I guess it's just the way he writes, and that's just how it is with writing. Sometimes is you're not always gonna like it, but as
I
long
like
as you
the
can
stuff with
respect
Sin City too.
Sin City, I don't think I've heard of that.
Oh wow! I mean, it was a comic
Um,
book, and then it became a movie. But yeah,
is it just called? Is the movie just called Sin City?
yeah.
Huh? I don't think I've heard of the movie either.
Oh wow. Anyway, I
we
digress.
just
So
something randomly missing.
back to Batman Year One because that's our topic.
Yeah.
Here is the cover of the first issue of Batman Year One,
Now, if you don't know
which
who those people are,
yeah, yes
go
you
back to your
do.
basic.
Um, so as I said, this took place in the regular Batman storyline in 1987. This was issue number 404. Um,
Another thing that I just randomly thought I wanted to point out something I wanted to note. Yeah. Sorry, my voice is all over the place today. I didn't know that this was. I thought this was like a graphic novel. Like I thought it was more like Dark Knight Returns, where it was his own thing. I did not know that it was just a part of the comic book. Um, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
so
Is just
interestingly enough, did you know that The Dark Knight Returns was
no fuck.
originally a 4 issue comic book miniseries?
I did know that.
Okay.
That is something I knew it was like its own self-contained thing.
It was. It was not part of the regular Batman
And
continuity.
and same with like All-Star Batman and Robin, which I've also read. I kind of assumed, oh, okay, it's Frank Miller. They gave him a go at his own thing again. I was not expecting, and it is self-contained. You can read it by itself, like I did.
Yeah.
But
So also by Frank Miller. But I actually liked that. A lot of people don't like that one, but I did.
what All-Star Batman and
Also
Robin?
Batman and Robin, yeah.
That is what I say when I mean that is what I mean when I say I do not like the way he writes. I
Huh.
actually
Interesting.
despise that. Here's the thing: I loved that comic as a kid. I thought it was so cool, and then I grew up.
Man,
It
that's
is
so weird.
very edgy, but
It
which
is.
I can do edgy, not that kind of edgy. There's this old saying, not old saying. Batman's only like 70 years old. Um, if you can't imagine like if you write Batman and you cannot imagine your Batman comforting a child, you have not written Batman. You've written Punisher in a funny hat. And I stand by that. That is something that I have that is my basis for Batman. If I cannot imagine Batman, the Batman that you've written or a Batman that has been put to page or film or whatever, if I can't imagine him comforting a child, it doesn't seem like Batman to me. And I do
See,
know that in All-Star Batman and Robin he does comfort a child, but it's like it's not it doesn't feel it feels shoehorned in. It doesn't feel like something that Batman would actually do.
see, I can forgive that type of stuff when we get artwork like this.
And let me tell you, the artwork was fantastic.
Yes.
There were a lot of really awesome artistic choices in All-Star Batman and Robin. But I will always say this. I am a writer at heart. If your story doesn't capture me,
Understood.
then that's I mean that's a saving grace. Bad art, yeah, I can deal with that because maybe the story is really good.
Yeah.
I've pushed through some really shitty art in favor of a really good story. But you reverse that, you flip those around, bad art with a or good art with a bad story. I'll look at the pictures,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's just the way I am.
I would have to agree with you on the fact that if the story is, or rather, um, I prefer the story, for a lack of
To
a
the
better
art.
way to put it. I prefer the story over the art.
Yeah.
Um, so
But
if the
you've had some
story is
issues with
good,
I I
I
do
can.
recall sometimes in my youthful days, you would complain about like, oh, this artwork fucking sucks, and like
Well,
not
okay,
read a
that's what I was
comic.
getting ready to say. I was going to say, if even if the story is good, though, if the artwork is atrocious,
If
it
the
makes it
artwork is bad
really hard
enough,
to get through the book.
yeah. But sometimes you just gotta muscle through shit.
You do. Now, on the subject of artwork, let's talk about the artwork in year one. And
Yeah.
specifically, I'm going to start off with this panel right here.
Amazing panel. I
Love it.
That is Batman. Like obviously that's Batman,
With the
but like that
context,
is a fantastic page. I like damn, if there weren't if there wasn't text on there, I'd set that to my phone's wallpaper.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's incredible.
So for
Um
context, for those of you that have not read, and this is a spoiler, so if you haven't read it,
yeah, by the way, spoilers for
yeah,
basically
spoilers here.
everything.
For context, Batman has just broken into a mansion where there is a meeting amongst various organized crime heads,
Crime bosses.
crime bosses. And so he is broken in and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have eaten well," and then proceeds to kick the shit out of everybody. But
Yeah. Standard bat fare.
the artwork, I think you had mentioned that you were not crazy about the artwork in general.
It's okay. Okay.
And
It's not I didn't like the artwork. It's dated. And obviously this is
I
an
get
old
that.
comic. I
I get that.
understand that. I have nothing wrong with cuz again, you guys know one of my favorite all-time favorite Batman comics is fucking Nightfall. That art style is out there.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily that I don't like it, it's that it's like, oh, okay, so we're going into an older story,
Yeah.
which I mean I knew. So it's not a negative thing. It was just a huh, all right.
Yeah, that artwork's pretty dated too. But yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. It is dated. The artwork is dated.
Nothing
Some
wrong with that.
of the drawing in there is a little cringy. Um, but overall, I think the artwork really fit the narrative.
Yeah, that's one thing is, I think you can get away with the art being one thing if it fits. Like the panel you just showed.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't think you could get away with you could. I don't think it would be as good if it was in a different art style. It
yeah,
takes the art style that has been established and pushes it into the bat. It uses the artist used his skills well in order to portray a very menacing Batman, and he knocks out of the park. So I think the main thing is just it fits. It's a good art style for the story.
So, jumping into the story of Batman Year One, do you have anything you would mention as a favorite portion of the story?
Um, at the I don't know about a favorite. I kind of liked it overall.
Yeah,
And I know that's kind of like a cop out, like I didn't have a favorite, I couldn't pick. But I have highlights. I have
yeah,
a lot of stuff. At the not the I don't know about the end, but like near the end, Harvey Dent
yeah,
um uh is given stuff to like get at Loeb.
yeah,
Um, at the end, Gordon becomes captain, not commissioner. I think he's captain.
yeah,
And they name drop the Joker because of fucking course they do.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean,
I
I
gotta
like
say,
I like the part where they go and like investigate Bruce, and he kind of
mm,
Bruces his way out of it.
yeah,
Also, the whole thing with Gordon and Sarah Essen, that's some Batman lore that I think isn't really commented on a lot.
yeah,
Um, which I mean, it kind of I don't necessarily think that like Gordon being a cheater is important to his character, but it kind of it shows that in Gotham nobody is perfect, not even the good guys.
not even, yeah, Gordon. So,
Um, yeah,
I mean, I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say, even, obviously it is a Batman story, it's Batman Year One. I really liked it for its um what's the word I'm looking for? How much,
Portrayal.
huh?
It's portrayal of Gordon, or like the amount that he
Well,
shows
just
up.
Gordon in general, just how he was such an important part of this story. Like
He
this
gets a
was,
lot of panel
as
time.
much as it was Batman Year One, this was like Gordon in Gotham Year One.
Yeah, and another thing, if we're gonna harken, oh goodness, pardon me, excuse me, if we're gonna harken back to the League of Assassins a bit, you can't have Batman without Gordon. I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
A
for sure,
Batman without a Gordon
for sure.
is a Batman that isn't gonna be as interesting because Batman has this relationship with Gordon in almost every good iteration that I can think of, it's Batman and Gordon.
Yeah.
Arkham Knight or the Arkham games, um,
Oh man.
the Batman 2022, going back to Penguin.
Yeah.
Um, I can't think of another example. No Man's Land. There's a lot of good moments in No Man's Land
Oh yeah.
with Batman
Oh
and
yeah.
Gordon.
Gordon in No Man's Land was amazing.
He was he took some names.
Yeah.
He was kicking ass and taking names, and he's all out of ass.
So
Or he's all out of name. Fuck.
let
Messed up
me
my
tell
own
you
thing.
about two of my favorite scenes
Yeah.
in this book.
Talk your shit, King.
First one is directly related to Gordon, and it is when he is staking out the poker game, waiting for everybody to leave until Flash comes out, and confronts him, and then he's like, "I haven't fought a Green Beret in a while. Even a Green Beret needs a handicap," and throws him the bat.
Oh my god.
And just
Yeah.
proceeds to beat the crap out of this
That
guy.
was I mean, yeah. Who wouldn't fucking like that part?
That was great. The
Gordon
other scene that
Gordon
I
don't give a
really
fuck.
like is when the police are trying to capture Batman in that building,
Yeah.
and then he calls all the bats, and everybody has to get rabies shots.
Yeah.
Goes,
That's good. One of those unfortunate side effects of fucking with a guy with bat in his name.
yeah. Um,
Also, you should already have your rabies shots. Come on, guys.
I don't think
Come
that's how.
on. You're cops. Pull it together. That's my least favorite part is the police incompetence. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I don't know. I don't think I had a least favorite part. For me, this was just it was a Batman story,
Yeah.
and it's good. I liked it. There was a lot of really cool moments where I was like, "Damn, what's gonna happen next?" And yeah, Gordon was amazing. Um, I think if you can manage to bring Gordon into a story and have him be like all important, absolutely do it.
Hmm.
Because Gordon is one of those characters that he doesn't get a lot of screen time, but when he does, you know he's going to come out swinging. Um, I'd I'd put this at maybe like a like a I'd give it like a B in like terms of how much I like it, not in terms
Huh.
of how good it is. I'd give it about a B on the tier list of Batman stories that I like because it's good and it's good, but then I compare it to like Nightfall and Long Halloween and these like when you put it up against stories that I really 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 like, it's like okay, it doesn't stand out. That's something. That's the one thing I God damn it. Sorry, my computer my fan gets stupid. If you heard that, I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't stand out to me. Which isn't a negative thing. Like I said, I if you're wanting a comic book to read and you've got, if you've got an afternoon free or you're looking for a comic to read, go check it out. I mean, it holds up. And like I said, I don't even like Frank Miller, and I think he did a fantastic job on this one. Um, Batman was cool, Gordon was cool. It was an awesome story. Um, but it doesn't stand out to me, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. My opinion is not the end all be all for Frank Miller's career. If it was, he wouldn't have one. That's a joke.
I
Hello?
was muted. God damn it. Yeah, my
There you go.
opinion is a little bit different. This is actually one of my favorite Batman stories. Uh,
Yeah.
and if somebody were to come to me and say, okay, you like Batman, what is one of the first things I should read? This is the first one I would steer them towards.
Yeah.
I say Batman Year One, read that first, and then come to me for more suggestions.
Yeah.
um,
Um,
so I liked it a lot. Now, um, a lot of it, no, I can't even say it's a nostalgia thing because I just reread it
yeah.
like a few days ago, and still, I just love this story.
Yeah. I
And
don't think it's nostalgia. I think that it holds up. I'm not gonna lie. I think if you were hyping it up unnecessarily, or if you were hyping it up unnecessarily, I would say something. But I mean, it's good. I get it. If it is nostalgia, I get the nostalgia.
now, that being said, it is not my number one top of the heap favorite Batman story arc, but it is definitely in the top five.
What is your number one?
Hush.
Oh yeah, stupid
Dude,
question.
that has it all. The story kicks ass, the artwork
Man, that's gonna
kicks
be like a
ass.
4 hour That's gonna be a 4 hour podcast. I'm telling you now. We're gonna be here all damn day. I'm gonna get one word and it's gonna be like, so hush, and he's gonna start talking. I'm calling it now. That's why we're doing the Arkham trilogy so that he doesn't start talking about Hush for the next 50 episodes. He's gonna do a panel by panel recap. We're gonna be here for the rest of our lives. I like Hush. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah. Um,
You want to talk about being here for a while? I could start talking about Nightfall.
oh man, I started reading
Anyway,
that and then I was like, I started rereading that last week, and then
yeah.
I got to a point where I was like, man, this is just too daunting.
It is a very
I can't do this right now.
It is a heap of comics.
So I am going to go back to it. I will go back to it, but now I am in the opening stages of reading a storyline called The Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul.
Huh.
And I'm reading the collected edition because that takes place over several issues. Pretty much the entire, at the time when it came out, all of the Batman related comics. But going back to year one, I'm pretty sure that you are aware, at least I think, that there was an animated adaptation of this.
Yes.
Yeah. That one came out in 2011.
I remember we owned it. It was in the house.
Yeah, I can't find it. It's got to be out there somewhere. I may have
probably. It was a DVD. It was like a Blu-ray or a DVD.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Blu-rays.
So the thing about the movie is it was very close to the
comics.
Book.
Yeah,
it followed it really close.
That is very admirable.
Unlike
I think
animated Batman movie.
I would say I think both of us can attest to when a story is done poorly, it ruins something for you. Not the original, but like I will say, you were pretty fucking excited for that Hush movie to come out, and then it came out, and it was a massive steaming pile of Riddler shit.
Man, that movie sucked.
It's fucking sucked.
But
that's another reason that.
Here's what I wonder though: if I had not read Hush, would I like the Hush movie?
That's a dark timeline. I don't know if I want to consider that one.
I can't definitively say yes or no.
Because you have read Hush.
That movie, because I do not live in a world where I have never read Hush.
Yeah, that's a scary timeline. I don't think I want to live it. I don't know if I want to live in the timeline where you don't like Hush, because that means you like something else. Scary.
I don't know.
Timeline where it's Spider-Man instead of Batman. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. That's what we should do after this.
What's that?
Talk about Spider-Man. Like after we're done, in like 40 years when we're done talking about Batman, we should talk about Spider-Man.
I mean, we could always just do another
good lord
thing called the Web Cave. No,
I was gonna say the Spider Cave.
The Spider Web. There we go. I mean, we could.
Oh yeah, why didn't we fucking think of that?
Could, but
we could.
I mean, we could.
Let's not.
But let's not. Yeah, let's not go there. Let's
to be fair,
anyway,
doing Batman every couple of weeks is fun.
Anyway, overall, I like Batman Year One. Great story.
Excellent story.
Solid artwork. Let's just call it solid artwork. I liked it.
It was good. It was great artwork. It's just dated. It's just old, you know?
Yeah. Dated
does not mean old. Or dated does not mean bad.
Right.
Because let's be real. You're a little bit dated. But you manage.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna go, and here we go back to Nightfall. The artwork in Nightfall is dated, but it's still good artwork.
It's still fantastic. It's got its charm. We'll say that. The artwork has its charm. But yeah, Year One, good story.
Good stuff.
Good comic.
So that wraps things up. Next time we are going to, I guess we're going to do
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum. Do I need to go back and play it again?
No, you just played it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean it's been about a month, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
You've played it enough that I'm sure you can hold a conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And for me it's been about a month and a half, so I think the main thing is honestly, I could probably take the lead for the next 3 episodes. Let's be real.
That's.
We're talking Arkham. I'm your Huckleberry.
When we get to Arkham City, I'll have more to contribute.
Yeah, Arkham City is definitely These are thoughts that should be saved for when we actually talk about it.
Yes, exactly.
We get ahead of ourselves too easily. But yeah, well, the next 3 episodes, which I mean, since we've both at least Asylum and City, I think we can definitely maybe we'll have more episodes sooner rather than later. Maybe it won't be another 2 weeks before you get a new Batcave episode.
Yeah.
I'm not recording another one tonight though. I'm just saying that.
No, we don't need to do that.
I had to take a shit for like 20 minutes.
Great.
Let's wrap this up, boys.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and
We'll see you next time.
we'll see you next time on another edition of the Bat Cave.
Yeah.